स्टोरी टाइम इज ब्रॉट टू यू बाय अमेरिका में मुसलमानों की नुमाइंदा तंजीम इस्लामिक सर्कल ऑफ नॉर्थ अमेरिका समाजी शऊर से आगाही हो या इस्लामी तर्ज जिंदगी का दर्स, इकना ने हमेशा अपना मौसर किरदार अदा किया। कार खैर में हमारा साथ दीजिए। फोन 718-658-1199।
To all the children living in UK, the US and Canada, we welcome you with Assalamu Alaikum, the peaceful greeting of Islam. And today we are here in story time with another session of great stories from the Holy Quran. And these are the stories of our holy prophets who were sent to this planet to guide us. But before we start today's story, let's see who's here with us. Yes.
Hi, it's Hareem from grade 7 to listen to some inspiring stories.
Okay, good.
Hi, it's Larry.
Okay, Lareb, good.
Hello everyone, today you have Isha with you.
Okay, Isha.
Hey, there's Moz Khan. I'm from grade 4.
Okay, Moz from grade 4. Okay, children, so today we are going to listen to a story from Quran. And this story is about Prophet Lut. Okay? And it's a very interesting story. And it's all true story. Now, Hazrat Lut was related to Hazrat Ibrahim. Do you know what was his relationship to Hazrat Ibrahim? He was his nephew. Hazrat Lut was a nephew of Hazrat Ibrahim. And Allah made Lut a prophet as well. You know Hazrat Ibrahim was a prophet, right?
Yes.
So Hazrat Lut was also a prophet. And Hazrat Lut was sent to a city called Sadun. And this city is in present day Palestine. At that time it was in Syria. And he was sent to the city to guide the people of that city.
They were non-believers.
They were non-believers. They didn't believe in Allah. And they were very corrupt. You know what they did? They robbed people. Rob means steal things from other people. They were always, now their town was right beside a big highway. And they would stay there, and at night especially, they would come out and rob all the people and caravan who were going on the highway. And they also kidnapped people.
Why they kidnap people?
To get money from their relatives. So they would kidnap people and then they would ask the relatives of the people they kidnapped for the money. This is how corrupt they were. And they used to shout and they used to disobey, and they were very shameless people. They had no shame. Now Hazrat Lut was sent there to guide these people towards the right path. And at that time, these people were the worst people on the planet Earth. So for a very long time, Hazrat Lut stayed there and he kept guiding them. But no one listened. They kept disobeying him. They even tried to kill him few times, but Allah protected him. So
They also disobey Allah.
disobeyed Allah. They always disobeyed Allah. They never obeyed Allah. And they did things which Allah did not like. Robbing people, hurting people. They loved hurting other people. So finally Allah decided to punish them.
So fast?
No, after many years. After a long time.
How was the trip was punishment?
Yes, the punishment was very severe, and let me tell you how they were punished. But first we must understand that Hazrat Lut spent lots and lots and lots of time trying to guide these people. But they didn't listen.
They disobey.
They disobeyed again and again and again. And people were miserable. People were hurt by these people. And even people, good people prayed, who were robbed, who were hurt, who were kidnapped, that Allah please punish these people of Sodom.
Hazrat Lut was the nephew of Hazrat Ibrahim.
Yes.
So Hazrat Ibrahim was alive when he was.
Yes, Hazrat Ibrahim was alive.
So he was alive when Hazrat Lut was blessed with prophethood.
Yes.
Where he was living.
Hazrat Ibrahim was living in Al-Khalil, a city called Al-Khalil, and Hazrat Lut was sent to this city of Sodom to guide people.
Did Hazrat Ibrahim know that his nephew is a prophet?
Yes, of course. Because Hazrat Ibrahim was the top prophet. He was the dean, he was the principal, he was the leader of the prophets at that time. He was the greatest of the prophets at that time.
He was the leader and the father was Hazrat Adam.
Yes, absolutely. So Hazrat Ibrahim was there, and when Allah made Hazrat Lut a prophet, He told Hazrat Ibrahim that I have made your nephew a prophet and I'm going to send him to the city of Sodom. And Hazrat Ibrahim was very happy that his nephew has become a prophet as well. Now Hazrat Lut spent many years in the city, and he would often go back to Hazrat Ibrahim and tell him that people are still not listening. And Hazrat Ibrahim would become very sad. And Hazrat Ibrahim would tell him to go back to the city and make an effort, try to convince these people. And Hazrat Lut would go back. So Hazrat Lut was a farmer. He used to farm his land to, get food for his family, and rest of the time he used to go in the city among the people and telling them to do good things.
Everyone in his family was believer.
His family was believer except for his wife. His wife was not a believer.
So why did he marry a non-believer?
Because at that time she was good and people were good, and later on they became bad and bad and bad, and she became bad with those people. She was misguided. So that shows that even prophets and family of prophet can be bad. They can be cheated by shaitan as well.
Like the son of Hazrat Nuh.
Exactly. So we should never say to ourselves that we belong to so and so family and my father is very good and my mother is good or my grandfather is very good, so I am good. It's not a guarantee that if your family is good, then you're going to be good as well. We should all be careful about our own selves, right?
Yes.
You see, even Hazrat Ibrahim, his father was an idol worshipper.
So his mother was also?
No, his mother died a long time back. So you see, Hazrat Ibrahim, who is the greatest and grandest of all the prophets, couldn't convince his father to become a Muslim.
His father was not a Muslim.
No, he was not.
So did he pray for his goodness or for the peacefulness of
His father? Yes, Hazrat Ibrahim prayed to Allah that Allah please guide my father, please forgive him. And Allah said, no, I cannot listen to this prayer. I will not answer to your call for your father. He will be punished because he prays to idols. And Hazrat Ibrahim's prayer was rejected. So now when Allah finally decided to punish the people of Sodom, He sent some angels. And since Hazrat Ibrahim was the greatest and the grandest of all the prophets, those three angels first came to Hazrat Ibrahim. And they looked like human beings. And when those three angels came to Hazrat Ibrahim loved guests. He loved giving food to guests. Hazrat Ibrahim was very happy because he used to live in desert with his sheep and there were not many guests there. So he was upset.
What did he prepare for them?
Yes, he quickly went outside, slaughtered a sheep, cooked the meat, and quickly brought that meat for the guests.
So did the angels ate that?
Yes, they didn't. And that scared Hazrat Ibrahim. He thought that I have these guests and they're not eating food. Oh my God, what's going on? And he was scared. And that's when angel told him that they are the angels. They said, don't worry, we are the angels. And now Hazrat Ibrahim was curious why these angels have come. And the angel said, before we give you the reason, before we tell you why we have come, we have a good news for you. Because the real reason they had come was very bad, right?
What was the
The good news was that Hazrat Ibrahim would have a son. Because at that time, Hazrat Ibrahim had no children. So they said, you are going to have a son. Even you are very old, your wife is 80 years old, but still you are going to have a baby. And his name will be Ishaq or Isaac in English. And Ishaq will be a prophet as well. So Hazrat Ibrahim was surprised. He said, can I have a baby? I'm old, my wife is old. We are very old people. It's not possible. Is it possible? And the angel said, yes. If Allah wills, if Allah wishes, it is possible. For Allah, everything is possible. And Hazrat Ibrahim agreed. He said, yes, for Allah, everything is possible. Right?
Yes.
And then they gave him the real reason why they were there. So the angel said, we are here to destroy the people of Sodom. We will kill every one of them. And Hazrat Ibrahim was very soft. He was very gentle. And he was very upset. He said, oh, why are you going to kill them? Don't kill them. There are Muslims there. And the angel said, yes, we know there are angels. Yes, there are hundreds of angels there. And the angel said, no, there are not hundreds of angels there. And Hazrat Ibrahim said, oh, yes, there are 14 Muslims there. There are not hundreds. And the angel said, we know that there are only 13. Don't count Lut's wife among the Muslims. And Hazrat Ibrahim was surprised that angels exactly knew how many Muslims were there. Because Lut had come to Ibrahim and Ibrahim asked him, how many Muslims are there now? And he had told him that 13 are Muslim and my wife, I care for my wife, but she's not Muslim. So Hazrat Ibrahim added his wife into that number because he cared for the wife's nephew.
So he is a Muslim.
She was not Muslim. She was not Muslim. So angels knew that there are only 13 Muslims in the city of Sodom. And Hazrat Ibrahim was very sad. So with a very heavy heart, he said goodbye to the angels. And angels walked out of his tent and disappeared. And then they reappeared near the field in the evening where Hazrat Lut was plowing his field. And Hazrat Lut looked at them and he knew that these are some strange people because he has never seen them. And it didn't look like that they were travelers.
So So who brought the good news of prophethood to Hazrat Lut?
That was another angel, Hazrat Jibreel. And this was not Jibreel. These are three other angels whose job was to destroy the city. So when he looked at them, he had an idea that these must be angels because they were not from there, and from their faces it didn't look that they have traveled, because at that time people used to travel on camels and horses, and when they would travel, all the dust would go on their clothes, and that's how people could tell that these are travelers. So they didn't look like travelers, and they didn't belong from that place. So Hazrat Lut had an idea that these must be angels. So the angels told him, they said, "We are the angels." So now Hazrat Lut didn't want them to go into the city because he thought that these people will hurt them because they look like human beings. And he said, "Don't go into the city. These people will hurt you. They will rob you." And angel said, "Don't worry about us. Don't worry about us. Take us to the city." And again, Hazrat Lut said this, "Don't go to the city. Please don't let me take you to the city. I don't want you to go to the city because you are strangers. These people are robbers. They're criminals. They will rob you."
But the angels didn't have anything.
And they didn't care because they were so powerful. Angel said, "Don't worry about us."
Was there any king of
No,
Hazrat Lut's time?
no, there were no kings at that time in that city. It was just few chiefs among them, but mostly people were free because they were just robbers living in one place. They would just go out and rob other people. So angels were very adamant. They wanted to go into the city. And Hazrat Lut said, "Okay, let me take you to the city." And Hazrat Lut took them to the city, and all the people gathered, started checking them, seeing if they have money, how they can kidnap them, and how they can hurt them. And Hazrat Lut said, "Please, these are my guests. Leave them alone, leave them alone." But they didn't listen. So then, very quickly, Hazrat Lut took these three angels into his house, and the angel said that we are here to destroy the city. And Hazrat Lut was so upset the way people had behaved that he said, "Destroy them now, destroy them tonight." An angel said, "No, we have been ordered to destroy them in the morning, and at night you will have to leave the city." So at the night, as soon as you leave the city and go far from here, in the morning we will destroy the city. So that night Hazrat Lut left the city with 13 people, and until the last minute he convinced his wife that, "Please come with me and you will be saved." She didn't want to go. But by getting this convincing from her husband, Hazrat Lut, she finally agreed. So they left the city, and Hazrat Lut said, "By the morning time, don't look back. Don't turn your backs and look at the city, because there will be punishment going on. And whoever turns back, he will disobey Allah and he will get the punishment as well." So
his wife became a believer?
Well, she was forced by Hazrat Lut. Hazrat Lut just forced her to go with him. And Allah knew that this woman is not a believer, but he still let Lut take his wife with him. So now what happens, that as they come out of the city and they're walking, in comes the angels, and they change into the real angels from human beings, and they are huge. And they cut the city with their wings. They cut the city like this and pull it up, and flip it over. And there were some people working outside the area of the city in their fields. On them, there were stones started coming from the sky. Boom, boom, boom. And the stones, they were targeted to the people of Sodom. Each stone had the name of the person written on it. And it went after, even if those people ran here and there, those stones followed them and hit them and killed them. And same thing happened with the wife of Hazrat Lut. She looked back, and the minute she looked back and she saw the whole city being destroyed, she said, "Oh, my city, my people, they are getting killed." And the second she said this, a stone came and killed her as well. So this is how the people of Sodom were killed and Hazrat Lut was saved. So what do you get from this story?
That we should be obeying Allah, or else we will be punished very severely, and we should
Yes.
not hurt prophets and nuggets.
Yes, of course.
If we are doing any business, so we must be honest.
We must be honest in our business, because people of Lut, Qawm Lut, were not honest. They were not honest. And we should never hurt other people, right?
We didn't kidnap everyone and take money from
Yes, we
people.
should not take other people's money. Very good.
We should obey Allah.
Yes, we must obey Allah. So with this, we end our today's session of story time, and tomorrow we'll be here again with another great story from Quran. Till then, keep obeying Allah and keep listening to your parents. And we end this session with Assalamu Alaikum.
स्टोरी टाइम वॉज ब्रॉट टू यू बाय अमेरिका में मुसलमानों की नुमाइंदा तंजीम इस्लामिक सर्कल ऑफ नॉर्थ अमेरिका समाजी शऊर से आगाही हो या इस्लामी तर्ज जिंदगी का दर्स इक्ना ने हमेशा अपना मौसर किरदार अदा किया। कार खैर में हमारा साथ दीजिए। फ़ोन 718-658-1199।